Hello, me again. Back once again with an awkward intro, as I like to do on YouTube. Jumping right into it here with the sketching stage. This is the most important stage of any piece of art that I do. That's where I solve all the problems and kind of figure out what I want to do with the picture and where it's going. Anyway, if you haven't figured out from by the video title, this one is Swamp Thing. I'm just going to jump into that, really. Swamp Thing, of course, was originally created by Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson. Started life in a one-shot story in issue 92 of House of Secrets, and then went on to get his own comic, join the DC universe, and all that fun stuff that everybody knows him for now. As a kid, I did get a few Swamp King comics. They didn't really appeal to me that much because he wasn't really in them at that time. I think it was either Alan Moore's run or just afterwards, and it was jumping backwards and forward in time a lot. There was hundreds of Swamp Things throughout the ages, and there was a lot of World War II stuff, and it just kind of didn't really appeal. I wanted superhero stuff at that point in my life, and it just didn't really get to me. I did eventually go back and read Alan Moore's run, and it kind of blew my mind. It's fantastic, and if you haven't read it, please do. I would recommend it. It's one of the first comics that ditched the Comics Code Authority of America, which was like putting all these dampeners on the comics industry at the time. They just got rid of it and did its own thing, and it will blow your mind like it did me. Brendan Wrightson, who I mentioned, was one of the co-creators. He did work on thousands of films, some of my favourite films of all time, to be honest, including Creep Show, Return of the Living Dead, and of course Ghostbusters. And if you haven't seen his concept art, especially for The Librarian, it has this really EC Comics horror vibe to it, sort of like Tales from the Crypt kind of thing going on, and Brendan Wrightson is amazing for that, as everyone saw in Creep Show. Swamp Thing, his character was a man originally named, or in the original run anyway, it was called Alec Holland, who was murdered by a bomb in his marshland lab, kind of, because when he dies, the swamp kind of absorbs his personality and his soul from the experiment he was doing, and becomes this vegetation man known as Swamp Thing, who fights to protect the swamp and humankind, usually from each other. Now, there's a bit of a controversy with Swamp Thing because there's an awful similarity to Jerry Conway's Man-Thing, which Marvel published a year before. And of course it's like, oh, we did it first, all that sort of stuff, and the Marvel and the DC fanboys will always fight. And the rumour is Len Wein and Jerry Conway lived in the same apartment at the time, and that they essentially sold the same story to both companies with a few tweaks. Of course, there was a load of legal stuff about it. It never got resolved in court or anything like that. But I think that's awesome. If you can sell something once and make money off it, why not change it a little bit and sell it again to the opposition? That's brilliant. Now, my first interaction, other than these one-shot comics, was the 1982 Wes Craven movie. And if you've seen it, that's a movie. It's kind of interesting to see that is what the man who gave us Freddy Krueger and Last House on the Left and Scream would have done with a superhero movie. It's kind of true to the comics, I guess. The special effects aren't fantastic by any means. What I did was doing the inking on this, actually, I should point out. I was trying to do the Bernie Wrightson style of like lots of intricate line work, just overworking everything, like the water and all the vines and everything like that. That looks amazing when he does it. I kind of tried to mimic it. I think it came out alright. Yeah, it was fun to do. It's fun to play about with that style. But yes, Wes Craven's movie is a sight to behold. It's not what you would expect from the Marvel camp, let's just say that. I mean, there was a Man-Thing movie in 2005. I've never seen it. I've seen clips of it. And of course, now there is a new Swamp Thing series coming, a TV series coming from the guys who made The Flash and everything like that. I have no clue what that's going to be about. That's got to be one to watch. I will check it out. This monster I'm drawing, there was a children's Swamp Thing TV show that was very popular for a short period of time. There's action figures, there was video games. I could have done a monster from that, but I just figured I'd do this kind of tongue thing that was attacking him. Again, doing the Bernie Wrightson on the water and the marsh. anything like that. This background is ripped straight from some of the early comics. I kind of just used the trees to give it a frame. A bit of rendering there on the characters. Now what I really want to talk about is the colouring, which we will get to in a minute, because I'm pretty sure that Bernie Wrightson did a lot of that stuff with watercolours. And trying to get a watercolour effect in digital without killing yourself with filters and different brushes and that sort of stuff is kind of tricky. But I think I kind of pulled it off well here. It looks a lot like what he did. Very basic flat colours on a lot of it. I added a few yellow tints into the green to give him a bit more of a rendering. But yeah, I didn't really mess about too much with any effects or anything on the colours. No colour map here that you would normally see me do. Just straight flat colours. And of course lots of twigs, because Swamp Thing can control everything, which I think actually makes him one of the most powerful characters in the DC universe. I have to say I'm not a massive fan of the DC universe. I've always lent more towards Marvel. However, I do know that there is a Justice League Dark animated movie out there which has Swamp Thing in it, and also John Constantine, who is one of my favourite DC characters, along with Batman, I guess. I'm really excited to see that. But yes, blurring it up a bit to give it that watercolour feel. Red eyes, of course. Pink tongue dude, because tongues are weird and pink. I should, actually, as we're coming to the end of the video now, give a shout out to my Patreons, specifically Connor. If you can head over to my Patreon, the link will be in the description below. It helps me out a lot, lets me do more of this stuff, lets me focus on this kind of stuff, and bring new content to you. And hopefully makes it easier for me to get past problems such as I've been having the other couple of weeks. But you don't have to. It's all appreciated. I'm not going to put anything out there behind the paywall. I think that would be done. Just doing a bit of a light yellow on the background to make everything pop. Very earthy tones in this one. And yeah, by all means, if you have a suggestion of what you want me to draw, hit me up on social media. Again, the links will be down below. Pac-Man? What? And that's not going to be in the video. Anyway, there's all my social media links. Come find me. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye.